Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, okay, I know, before everyone's like, what is she doing? She said she was done with Christmas. I was, back then. But then, I had a couple ideas, and I really wanted to share them with you guys. So this week will, I promise, be the last week of Christmas. A, because after Saturday, I'm not putting any more videos out until after Christmas. And B, because this is all I'm doing. I swear. Okay, so, and again, I know I've already done recently a domino set, but this was really cool, guys, so I really had to share it with you. Okay, so, without further ado, on to these dominoes. Alright, using Nic Pro resin, I'm just measuring it out right now, and I have never included any real, like, food anything into resin. I tried coffee beans once. That's the extent of food and resin that I have done. So this is new to me, and I really wanted to see how it worked out. And really, the only reason why I'm doing them is because I was walking around in the Christmas section of Walmart the other day, and I saw these, like, candy sprinkle type things. I personally don't think they should be called sprinkles because they're ginormous, but I guess that's what they're classified as. But they're huge. They're more like sweet tart kind of sized pieces. So I had to try it. I couldn't not. Like, they're really cool. There's snowflakes, there's gingerbread men, there's lights, there's the little like round peppermint kind of candies, candy canes. Like, there's all kinds of stuff in here. So I needed to. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to fill up my mold, not quite halfway, and I sprayed it first with alcohol because I was hoping that it would kind of reduce the amount of bubbles that kind of stick around all those little dots and lines and all that other stuff, and it actually worked pretty well. So maybe something I do from now on if I remember. And I don't want it to be too full because, again, I need an opaque background for these. And I have a pretty neat idea that I think I want to try as well, just to kind of get these really Christmas type vibe dominoes set. And we're just going to see how it goes. Okay, so after I got the amount of resin in the molds that I wanted, I'm just going to go around with my silicone tool, and any other bubbles that are still there, I'm just going to make sure that they are not stuck on the bottom and that they rise to the surface so that I can hit it with my heat gun and just pop any of those bubbles. And then we're going to start including some of these pieces. Now, like I said, there's a bunch of different ones that you can use in this particular little canister of candy sprinkles. I am going to choose to do the stockings, and honestly, the stockings were kind of an aftersight. My first thought was candy canes, the gingerbread man, and the little round peppermint candies. I did the stockings afterwards because the lights, like the color scheme that I had was pretty much everything. Well, I mean, the gingerbread men obviously aren't red, green, or white, but they just kind of flowed with the kind of food candy type related thing. And I didn't want to use the lights because they had bright yellow ones, which is fine if that's what you're going for, but I didn't feel that it fit the what I had envisioned in my head. So I didn't want to use those. The snowflakes were white and blue. Again, kind of didn't fit, but I felt the stockings did. I mean, we put candy in stockings for Christmas, so, there's my theory behind it. Now, I'm just kind of going along and throwing these in here. I want one of each color as far as the little peppermint type candies and the candy canes. And then for the gingerbread man, I'm just going to put one on the top, one on the bottom. And then there's like these little red balls. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're in with that particular set. So why not? So putting them in there, kind of flipping them upside down to make sure that both sides are covered in resin and that the underneath doesn't have any air caught underneath of it. And that's it. And then it's about halfway through. Once I fill up this first set, I decide that I want to add another one. And that's when I pick the stockings. They're red and green. It fits. It works. So, where, as far as like how the number scheme goes on these molds, it's not going to be like it was like I'm doing, one of each one and then going through and doing one of each one like that. It's not going to work like that. It's going to be 4 or 5 or however many it was in the bottom of it. But it's fine. It's fine. It really doesn't matter. The back is what matters. So, and the back's all going to be the same. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm hoping that these don't bleed because like I said, I've never worked with anything like this before. I mean, I've seen other people do it, but depending on the colorant and stuff like that, sometimes stuff bleeds. So, in true Nicole fashion, I don't know what I did with the recorded part that came next. I had this tinsel stuff that I've had for years and years and years, just laying around, not doing anything with it. So I chopped it up. It's just some of it's kind of like an iridescent clear, and some of it is an iridescent white. So I chopped it up in pieces and stuck that in there too and let it set for 24 hours. Now we are 24 hours later and it's time to do the backing of these. And I've already mixed up my resin. Now I am doing straight gold glitter on this. Like I said, I want it to be a super sparkly, super Christmassy type Dominoes. Now the reason that I'm not mixing all the glitter into all of the resin that I had mixed up is because I don't like using glitter in my mixing cups. I can never ever 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 get the glitter to come out when I clean it. So when I work with glitter, I typically just use a disposable cup so that I don't have to fool with it. When it dries, it's fine, it's whatever, and I don't have to deal with it. And I don't have to worry about glitter coming off when I'm mixing my resin later on in a piece that's not resin related and getting glitter coming in there because glitter can be evil sometimes and it just is. So I'm just kind of doing this step by step as I need it and mixing it as I go along. Now, pouring the glitter in the back, and then I'm going to go through because I did not cover these pieces completely with with resin. The first step when I was doing it, there are pieces that are sticking out, and especially that tinsel that didn't want to lay down, which was fine because I kind of wanted to go haphazardly, whatever which way. It's sticking up in the back. So I'm just going over with my dotting tool to kind of dislodge any bubbles that may be stuck there from the back of these pieces protruding up. And then after this, and I fill it both sets, then I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. Well, I'm going to make sure they're all filled first. Hit it with my heat gun. And then we're going to let it cure and see how it turns out. And here we are, 24 hours later, all nice and cured. And I'm super, super excited about these. Like, I really hope that they come out the way that I wanted them to. I kind of, I was between colors as far as what ones I wanted to do. I really think a red or a green, super fine glitter would be really pretty. But with the colors of everything being red, green, and white inside, for the most part, I was worried that using either of those two colors would get lost, and white would have been pretty too, but again, it would have been the same issue. That's why I picked the gold. Now, on camera, it's a little harder to kind of see. They kind of look like they're lost in there. They're a lot different in person. And once I get the dots on there, it changes them up completely because it breaks up some of that gold in the background. Now, doing this again, would I picked a different color? Maybe. Maybe. I, it's hard because of the colors that I picked, and I really, really wanted that Christmassy kind of vibe, and I really wanted that glitter sparkleness, so I don't know. Now, after I did my last set of dominoes, a few of you commented that I should have done acrylic paint or I should try acrylic paint and do the holes and the dots like that. I have done it before. This is not my first time doing this. And this is why I hate it. I really, truly hate doing it this way. But I just wanted to show you guys. For those of you that are on the newer side and haven't done it before, I mean, to each his own. And I don't know, maybe it's just me and I just suck at it. It's possible, right? But in my opinion, I have tried it with thinner acrylic paint. I have tried it with thick acrylic paint, which is what I'm using right now. And any which way I go, one, I feel like it never completely comes off 100%. Like I feel like there's always like like, I don't know, just something like a filmy residue, whatever, on them. Now I know you can clean them with alcohol and it'll get it off, but not until a while later. Like if you use alcohol on your pieces before they're like 100,000% cured, you're gonna get like it can leave a film on top of it. So yeah, no, I've ruined a lot of pieces doing that. So I decided that I wanted to try because I really wanted white. I think white is what needed to happen. And I don't have a white paint marker, and obviously glitter would be a mistake, and I didn't want to do alcohol ink. And I had another YouTuber, I can't remember who it was, had mentioned doing mica powder with the Duraclear gloss varnish, which I have never tried before, and I've been wanting to in a different style of project, but I thought I wonder if it'll work for the dots too. Now, I know when you do the mica powder and alcohol, when it dries, it turns back into its powder form. So I was a little worried that that was what was going to happen with this. But I thought I'd try it anyway and see how it turns out. Now, for me, doing it like this, getting my dotting tool and doing the dots and those lines like this is like 100,000 times faster than doing it with the acrylic paint, because you can dip it in, dip it out. Now this is real time. This isn't been sped up or anything. And I mean, it's faster. And then I don't have to worry about the cleanup. Like there may be a spot here or there that I have to get like a Q-tip or whatever and just touch somewhere where I may have gone over, but I don't have to worry about wiping the paint off, hoping I didn't wipe too much paint off and it doesn't come out of the dots. This huge mess. And plus I feel like when you're doing the acrylic paint like that, like you're wasting so much paint, or I am anyway. And then you also get that shimmer from the mica on this, which is nice. So like, yeah, okay, my acrylic paint is, the gloss, it's not a matte one, it's gloss, but it doesn't have that like almost pearlescent type shine to it, which in my opinion, especially on these and the aesthetic that I'm going for in this, was like what I wanted. So I ended up, those couple that I did with acrylic paint, I just cleaned them out and I did them all this way. And what would have taken me 100 years to do with acrylic paint, I was able to do super quick. It dries pretty fast too. And done. So that's pretty much it on this one, guys. If you haven't tried this on your dots, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Is it better, or is doing it with acrylic paint better for you? I'm really curious what you guys think. All right, so that's it for this one. I will see you guys on Thursday. I have a really cool one. Like, I'm really excited about it. I love it. I love it. I really, really do. Anyway, I will see you on Thursday. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will catch you then. Love ya. Bye.